Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And after a very long, very painful stream trying to test out this Fern, it's not her fault. But we are here to record the Should You Summon video. So, obviously, Fern is out. Congratulations. People can stop asking me when Fern drops because she's here. She's here. She's in the game. You can summon for her right now. But is she good? Yes, she's very good. And she's going to be good for a while. Why is that? Because she's got a good kit. Before we talk about that, since we're already on the screen, let's talk about her banner. It goes until the 19th, when all the other collab banners end. So she's going to be here for the least amount of time. But alongside her, she is the single new character. And then all the other featured 5-star characters are the same ones that were on the Raphael banner. Commander Shizu, Tempest Fleet Rimuru, Summer Shizu, Adventurer slash Wielder, no, World of Fantasy Shizu, and then Fount of Wisdom Hinata. This Shizu is good. This Rimuru is only a DPS, so you can do some fun gimmicky things with him. Not very important, though. This Summer Shizu, heavily power crept. This Shizu, super heavily power crept. This Hinata, with her skill fusion, is fairly good, but still a very, very, very old character. One of the first EX units ever. So, Fern is very good. The rest of her banner, debatable, but at least it has EX units, unlike the Prosper banners. But what does Fern do? Why is she so very good? Well, she's light, she's magic, she's attack growth, she uses a hammer. Please keep in mind that because of the ranking rewards from the raid, where'd it go? Okay, well, it's not here anymore. But we're going to get free gear for this Fern in the next, 2 or 3 days or something. So you don't need to make new gear for her. I would just give her whatever you have lying around and then wait for the Fern gear, because we're going to get it for free. It'll show up in your gift box in a couple days. But she is a single target light magic damage dealer, not a support alt, an attack alt. So she does single target big mommy damage. Excellent. Her first skill, which we knew from the skill preview, is 100% alt resistance down, very strong, and 100% EX alt damage. Now this is fairly comparable to the Prosper Elmesia, who is doing 100% alt down and 70% normal alt damage up, but only for earth and fire. So it allows you to have just a normal alt and be buffed, but it only applies to earth and fire characters. The 100% alt down is the exact same. But for 10 points extra, you now have an EX alt buff, which again only applies if you have an EX alt, which a lot of characters can do now. The time and age where we worry about not having EX alt is pretty much over. You're expected to have an EX alt or you're not nuking at this point. So this is a very strong skill for 90 points. It's a whole butt ton of damage. The second skill, which we kinda knew because the JP Twitter spoiled it, is guaranteed synergy power for everybody, and then a personal magic attack buff by 100%. So overall, she's giving any team alt down, EX alt up, and synergy power. You still need someone to give synergy rate, because there's no synergy power without synergy rate. So she does require someone else to activate that. And then her magic buff is, again, selfish, but she is a single target nuker, so she's expected to have some kind of selfish buff. And the fact that she has 100s across the board is incredible power. It's very expensive. 180 skill points to use both of these. But on a stacking team, you can benefit off of that. You have 180 skill points on top of whatever else you got. So the raw power you can get out of this Fern, not even including her own magic buff, as a support character, if you have someone to give synergy rate, you're doing 100% synergy power. EX alt damage, I would hope that your nuking character, whoever that is, has an EX alt, and then 100% alt resistance down. You just have to have an alt. This is a literal butt ton of power that Fern is going to give any team in the future. And even if you can't use synergy and this magic skill, 100 up and 100 EX alt, or 100 alt down and 100 EX alt up is still really, really strong, especially on a stacking team. So she's going to have a lot of value moving forward in the game as a generic support character. And this is what I really, really like about characters that are generic supports, is that they can be put on pretty much any team, and you can benefit off of them. To follow up, she's on a charge team, so she gets the true attribute Unbound on turns 6, 7, and 8. Her Valor trait nerfs blue orbs, which is not really that important. Her actual trait is Protection Gauge every 3 turns. So Freeren's giving you protection every 2 turns, Fern's doing it every 3 turns. These are very strong traits, so if you can pull a dupe of Fern, that's great. If you can't, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Turn 2s are much more important than turn 3s because they activate more in the fight, because, turn 2, turn 4, turn 6, turn 8. This is going to activate turn 3 and turn 6, and that's it. So turn 2 protection skills, much heavily valued versus turn 3s, but they're still really good for the team. And then she needs Stark for her EX ability board, and that's about it. So free gear, really, really strong, big time buffs, and she's a nuking character. So should you summon for Fern? Not because she's a collab character, but because she's a good support character? Yeah. Should you summon for Fern because she's actually a really strong nuking character, and if you use both these skills, she's going to do dumb damage even by herself? Yeah. If you are currently missing Himmel and Freeren, should you summon for Fern? No. You kind of need Himmel to make this team operate. Freeren is the AoE nuking character, and AoEs are most of the time more heavily favored in most events nowadays. Not all, but most. And then Raphael. A lot of people are asking about Raphael. Raphael is both the single most important character for this team and the single least important character for any other team ever in the game. So I really would not prioritize this Raphael. I would prioritize Freeren, Himmel, and Fern. And then if you have all 3 of them and you have a lot of crystals left over and you either have FOMO, fear of missing out, and you're like, man, this Raphael's never coming back, should I summon? It's and you have crystals? Yeah, sure, why not? But if you're okay with not having Raphael, don't summon for Raphael. Just summon for Freeren, Stark, and Fern, or Freeren, Himmel, and Fern, and make that your team. You can find another triple orb stealer. Her skills outside of this meta are not going to be very useful. So I just don't see a lot of future-proofing on this particular Raphael character. I see a lot of future usage in this Fern and Himmel and Freeren. So yeah, summon for Fern, but only if you already have if you already have Himmel and Freeren. You can skip Raphael completely. So hopefully that answers your questions. She's a very strong support character. She's going to be on a lot of future teams that I showcase for future metas. Just please keep that in mind. She's going to be there, and this is your only chance to get her. None of these characters will come back, ever. Or at least we're made to believe they would never come back. They've never once rerun a collab, all the way going back to Konosuba from 2 years ago. They've never rerun a collab. So you can safely assume this is your only chance to get these characters. And I would rather you get the more useful characters first. But if you did summon for Fern already, let me know how your summons went in the comments below. Her ult animation is really cool. It's from her fight with the demon guy. But that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll try and get Fern Showcase out sometime tomorrow.